Hello, hello, and welcome to Magical Miracle Monday. Actually, someone just asked me yesterday, why do you theme all your days and where did that come from? And it really got me thinking. And today we're going to answer, why do I theme my days? And honestly, why I encourage you to do the same. And here's the simplest reason, guys. If you don't theme your days, if you don't get intentional what today is going to be about, you just may not like the outcome. The way most people live, it's not very intentional, and it's not in these lighter, brighter energies. So why Magical Miracle Monday, and actually even where my whole theming days started with, it goes back when I really thought about it 25 years ago. And I used to be in the medical field. And I remember when I was first learning I used to sell an instrument that was primarily used for bypass surgery, the hemocron machine. It was a blood coagulation analyzer, and I had to learn all this stuff about the heart and what made a successful heart surgery and all the statistics of what caused people to live after surgeries and whatnot, and all these different things. And here's what I remember almost more than anything from 25 years ago is one of the statistics is Monday and mornings, to be specific, is when the most heart attacks happen and the most amount of people die. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, like, why is that? Like, I had no idea looking back, like, why that would be so high. And they went on to say it was the stress that people live in, and they get so uptight, like, oh my God, it's the beginning of the week and another long week and a rough week. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, that's causing heart attacks. And through the years I learned the heart represents really where we hold our joy, and heart attacks represent the energies of squeezing out the joy, and there's not joy like in your heart. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, let's not play that game. And it wasn't until a few years later that I met, an amazing mentor, and Bijan, Effortless Prosperity. I know so many of you heard me speak about him and his incredible teachings. And he introduced me to this concept of miracles and live miracle-minded, right? Versus instead of what can go wrong, right? And got all those Murphy laws, hey, whatever can go wrong will go wrong type of energy. And he used to flip that around and say, like, hey, whatever can go right will go right, and expect a miracle. And I used to love that. And then it was soon somewhere in that time frame that a quote from Albert Einstein, which has forever stayed in my heart, is there's only just two ways to live your life. One is though nothing is a miracle, and the other is though everything is a miracle. And I literally remember taking that on and vowing, okay, I'm living a life of miracles, and we're going to look for miracles. And I have run so many miracle shares where I've had people over, and that's all we do is we talk about the miracles and what's great. And we did that every single week for live for, I don't know, 10, 12 years at least. And now I do an online version of that just with my coaching clients through my community. Actually, if you want to hear miracles, get a miracle, share one, send an email to my assistant at support@trueworldglobal.com. Support@trueworldglobal.com. My assistant will get you hooked up, and you can read about miracles, submit miracles, love to hear from you. But like I said, started learning years ago that, Mondays were the number one day for heart attacks and people dying. It was that day had to have a different meaning in my world, right? And understanding miracles, and the only way to live is kind of this miracle-minded. I was like, Miracle Mondays, right? And miracles just became the theme, honestly, of every day of the week, right? It was every day look for a miracle, which I still love. And where the different days came from was, believe it or not, only when I thought back in my mind, like, what started me on, okay, terrific Tuesdays, then wonderful Wednesdays, and then I did thrivey Thursdays and fabulous Fridays. That started with my son only about 3.5 or so years ago. Every day I walked him to kindergarten, and I could go into the gates of the school, into the schoolyard, and prior to the bell ringing, all the little kids had to sit down in a line, Indian style, and I just started this thing, I think there's 23, 24 kids or so in his class, and I just kind of ran up and down the line. And, on Mondays I would be like high-fiving all the little kids saying, Miracle Monday, Miracle Monday, Miracle Monday, Miracle Monday, right? And then Tuesday came along, and I wasn't going to say Miracle Tuesday, I guess, to them, and I just thought, okay, terrific Tuesday, terrific Tuesday, terrific Tuesday, right? So I got into this terrific Tuesday, and then it became the, wonderful Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday, wonderful Wednesday. And I got all these like little kindergarten kids to be like, ah, and they just loved it. And, and I just remember, at one point telling my mother-in-law that, and she's like, oh my God, she's like, do you realize your son is probably going to remember that for the rest of his life? And I mean, through kindergarten, it was like so fun. And then I did it actually through first grade as well. And then second grade, even though we were walking him to school, they changed the rules and parents couldn't go into the schoolyard any longer. And I thought, I've got to get this inside of him, where every day, so every morning, like when I wake him up, there's this, good morning, my beautiful baby boy, right? Mommy's prince. And I'll say, yeah, Miracle Monday, or, now I've kind of added to it, Magical and Miracle Monday, right? And I wake him up that way. So every day he has a themed day. And we actually started off where I have something programmed onto Alexa that he can listen to each day, and every day it's a happy day, and every day it's getting better and better. So the whole point of why theme your days, hey Marcella, how are you, beautiful, right? It's because you get intentional. It's because you set the expectation. You set it for how you want to live that day. And it just makes it extra fun, right? We've been talking and keeping this theme of fun going. Actually, it was just last week that I added Fabulous and Fun Fridays. And that just exploded my world. Just to bring that extra layer of fun and who I'm being and how I'm showing up with not just intentional, which is so huge and profound and actually probably radically different than most of the world, but to be that fun. Like, this doesn't need to be serious. You can create everything from more fun, more joy, more abundance, more everything that you want to create. So on happy Mondays, where most people are like, oh, long week, beginning of the week, if that's what you're feeling, let's switch it up. Let's label this differently. Let's create a different way of expecting your Mondays to play out. And do like I do. I invite you to call it Magical Miracle Monday and look for miracles. And again, like I said, if you need a little extra inspiration, send an email to support@trueworld.com to my assistant, and we'll get you hooked up with some miracles that you can read. And then I would look forward to down the road, even you sharing some great miracles. And you know what? I'll say this right before I wrap up. I used to think, oh my gosh, is a miracle a miraculous healing, or, healing somebody, from something super chronic or something crazy like that. And no, I want you to loosen up your rules a little bit for what a miracle is. I had learned years ago that the true definition of a miracle is a shift in perception. It's something that maybe you thought was hard, difficult, or impossible, and you start looking at it through different eyes, and you start looking at it maybe as instead of so hard or difficult, like, maybe it's a challenge, or maybe it's an opportunity to grow, to learn, to expand, to step into something, right? Just that little shift alone, you can create a miracle. Shifts in identity, shifts in the way that you see your Mondays or any day of the week for something that you have a positive expectation can all be a miracle. And we'll give you lots of examples. So if you'd like, send an email to support@trueworld.com and we'll get you hooked up with miracles. And for today, just live in that miracle mindedness. Magic and miracles really are all around you if you look for them. All right, enjoy. Take care. Talk soon. Bye-bye.